Bellingham. So, all right. There we go. Let's rock. Let's roll. Let's see if I can take my 4 wins versus 1 win on the world-class difficulty level and continue my luck here on Friends Stream Sports, Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. And we're just so excited. And Rutledge is on his way home. And hopefully he can get home in time to get to at least say hello to everybody. Maybe make a couple picks. So, very, very excited for that. And very excited to have Rutledge join us when he does. But as of now, we're at Wembley. We've got England. We've got Germany. We've got 2 UEFA Titans duking it out in a cathedral fit for the occasion. Beautiful day. Not like the day that it was in Orlando. That is for sure. And just so excited, everybody. And with that, as we head into this summertime awesomeness, and really before we ramp up to American football, one of the things Rutledge and I wanted to do was take our NBA Team of the Week topics and move them into baseball Team of the Weeks. So very, very excited to get to start to talk about baseball. And I can't wait to talk about the Angels. And because Rutledge isn't here and I get to pick what we talk about, I'm going to talk about the Angels for a little bit, and I'm going to talk about Shohei Ohtani, because Shohei Ohtani is doing things that we have not seen since Babe Ruth. He is leading the American League in home runs, and he is doing a great job pitching. And it's not like he's a little knuckleballer. I mean, this guy's throwing smoke, and he's just killing it out there. So hats off to Shohei Ohtani and the Angels. Can't wait to see them continue to do really well and just see how they finish out there in the AL East. But the reason why I could talk about the Angels briefly and segue into our MLB Team of the Week is the Angels are currently playing the team that is our first inaugural MLB Team of the Week, and that is the New York Yankees. The Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, they've been struggling this year. That's for sure. They've lost 5 in a row, got swept by the Red Sox, and have just had some issues. And I'm always one of those folks that thinks that when it comes to sports, I always love to have some underdogs. A little bit of underdog action every year is always really good, but it's always good to have like the top teams be good in their respective sports. So, I kind of think that as it relates to basketball, when the Lakers are good and notable, like NBA is kind of better. In college football, when Michigan's good, I think that that makes the Big Ten that much better and a little bit more fun to watch. And we almost had our first goal of the game here, and that would have just been a super lot of fun time, but we don't. So, nevertheless, here we are. And so the interesting thing about the Yankees right now is they've got a ton of guys on paper that should be really good at hitting the baseball. Giancarlo Stanton, Gary Sanchez, Aaron Judge, folks that we always hear are really good hitters, and they are an average team at best in hitting. So I think that, you could see a potential trade deadline move for another bat in the lineup, maybe a DH type player. Although Gary Sanchez, oddly enough, DHs, even though, he's an interesting guy, and I'm going to touch on him here briefly, but, maybe another outfielder, maybe somewhere along the way, the Yankees need another bat in that lineup that could help boost some of those batting stats, because, Even though they're fourth in the AL East, they could still definitely make some noise and potentially get into a wild card spot. They're definitely in contention for that. So excited to see what the Yankees could do there. As it relates to the Yankee pitching staff, they've got Garrett Cole, and he's kind of their stud. Outside of that, it's a lot of okay stuff going on with the Yankees. So I think as a team, they do have a lot of questions. It always feels like when you watch baseball, the stock thing as it relates to pitching is, you could always use more middle relief. I think the Yankees could actually use more middle relief. It's not like just a throwaway kind of, we could use more middle relief, so let's go find a middle reliever. No, they are desperately in dire need of some good old middle relief there. And one piece of relief that the Yankees got and need to get is some more stability at the catcher position. As I mentioned earlier, there's another guy for the Yankees that we keep on hearing is good, but hasn't lived up to the billing for sure this year. That's Gary Sanchez, and he's a guy to keep your eye on. I think it's really interesting that even though he's kind of your number one catcher, he doesn't actually catch the number one pitcher. That's Garrett Cole. There's another kind of their other catcher. I won't call him a backup catcher because if you're catching the starter, then it's kind of hard to be considered a backup. But Garrett Cole is, Garrett Cole's doing his thing. Gary Sanchez needs to definitely pick it up and, maybe be another. Maybe the Yankees just need to look within themselves as it relates to trade deadline type of move and just kind of say, hey, we're gonna figure this out here on our own, and we're not going to make a trade deadline move, although I kind of think that the Yankees are going to make a trade deadline move. As we finish out with talk on our MLB Team of the Week, I want to bring up and discuss the story, kind of a fun story that came out for the New York Yankees, and that is that the Yankees got to honor a Batgirl today. Not Batgirl like Batman and Robin, although that would be really cool. There was a lady who in 1961, wrote to the New York Yankees saying that her dream was to be a Batgirl. And what the Yankees said, the GM at the time wrote and said, that'd be amazing. I'm sure you'd be great, but, we're going to pass right now. For whatever reason he wanted to say pass, he said, well, we're just going to pass on this. And obviously, as you can imagine, that kind of left that young gal not feeling too good about herself. So fast forward now, literally 50 years, and the granddaughter of this lady sends that same letter back to Brian Cashman, the GM for the Yankees, and all of a sudden Brian Cashman invites this lady to be the Batgirl. So the Yankees get their time in the sun as it relates to a nice puff piece kind of story.